this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes parents make when their child comes out as transgender. So just so you know, transgender could be many different things. It could be your son telling you they don't identify as being a boy and they identify as being a girl, or vice versa. So as a parent, the 3 biggest mistakes they make when a child actually comes out about feeling that they are transgender is, number 1, when the parent says to the child, "You are too young to know." Okay, so the reason why this is not a good thing to say is because by the time your child comes out and tells you that they feel differently than the person that they were born as, it's probably been a while. So your child has been thinking about this. It could be for a couple months, could be for a couple of years. Also, a lot of kids that I work with, sometimes they come out as young as 9, as 10, as 11 years old. And of course, as a parent, you're probably thinking, how do you even know who you love? Or how do you even know who you identify as? Like, how do you even know that? And the funny thing is, and the wonderful thing actually is, the kids of this newer generation are so sensitive to their feelings that they're actually quite in tune and quite more mature as far as being able to decide who they identify with. Now, it's not to say they may change their mind, and that's totally fine, but that's why the one thing you don't want to say as soon as they come out to you is that you're too young to know. Because like I said, if they've come out to you now, they probably have been thinking about this for a while. Plus, when you say you're too young, you're actually making them feel bad, and you're making them feel as if they don't know what's right for them. Now, again, doesn't mean they may change their mind, which is possible, but in this moment, if they're telling you they identify as someone else, what I want you to do is I want you to have a conversation about being proud of them, okay? So you're not gonna say you're too young. Instead, you're gonna say, "Wow, Sally Sue, I am so happy that you felt comfortable enough to tell me this. And, you know, this is new to me. So how long have you been feeling like this? And what does that look like for you?" And you can ask questions, but don't ask dumb questions. And I'll tell you why, because you're going to have your kid shut down, shut off, and not share anything, because I've kind of seen it a million times. The second thing you don't want to say to your child is, "You're confused." Ugh, this is another one that kids come in crowing about. If a child is sharing with you that they identify as someone else, as a different female or male, the one thing you don't want to say is you're confused, because again, what you're saying to your child by saying that is you don't know what you're talking about. And you don't want to do that. You want to support them in the best way that you can. And it's okay that you don't know what that looks like, right? You never want, you know, when your child comes out as trans, your first inclination is to say, "Oh my God, you know, I don't want my child to have a difficult life," or "I don't want my child to feel, you know, not good about themselves," or "I don't want my child to have," you know, those are normal parent reactions. But again, don't say you're confused. What you want to do is you want to have a conversation with them and show that you support them, that you're proud of them. And you're like, "Wow, you know, what does that look like? And how long have you been feeling like this? And I'm so happy that you felt comfortable coming out to me. And I want to support you in the best way I can. I may not know what that looks like right now, but we're going to figure that out together." The third thing you want to not say to your child is, if you know that your child has a friend that just came out as trans. So let's say Sally Sue's friend is Linda. Now, if you know, because Sally Sue told you a couple months ago that Linda just came out as trans, now Sally Sue's telling you that she's trans. Okay, so the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to say, "Oh, you're just copying Linda." Are you just copying Linda? Because that's another thing kids hear. Once a parent hears someone else in the class has come out as trans, then they think their kid's going to do it. So don't say that, because again, then by saying that, you're telling your kid, "Wow, you don't have your own opinion, you're copying off for Linda." Not to say they might be or might not be, but just don't say it. Again, you want to support them in the best way possible. And you could have that conversation with them and say, "What does that look like?" The other thing I just want to say too, and this is really important, is that always allow your child to voice how they feel, right, wrong, or indifferent, without judgment, okay? And I will tell you this, you don't want to make a big deal about these conversations. It's not the end of the world. Don't forget, your child is expressing how they feel. They could change their mind. I'm not saying they're going to, but I want you to really treat this conversation, or these conversations that your child comes out, as a really as an opportunity to open dialogue, to have open dialogue with your child about, what they feel, how they want to feel, who they identify with, and be okay with it. Don't add negative energy by being defensive, by being, and you could say like, wow, I'm surprised, but I love you, that, and I'd love to support you. So, we just are going to figure this out together. But whatever you do, don't say those three things. First of all, you're too young, you're confused, and you're only doing this because your friend's doing it. Don't do that, because what's going to happen is, like I said, your kid's going to shut down. They're going to be mad. And I've seen that happen before. So guys, just so you know, I'm a teen life coach. I work with kids in all different ways. I help kids increase their self-esteem. I also help kids come out to their parents. I help kids navigate with their parents what this looks like. And again, it's all individualized to the child, right? Every child is very unique. Every child is going to have their own preferences. I help kids navigate that process. Why? Because they need someone to support them from a non-judgmental, non-emotional. I'm here to just help your kid feel better, find confidence, and love life, regardless of their gender, regardless of any of that.